Welcome to another edition of the CDG BizCast. I'm your host, Christian Gonzalez, co-owner of Creativity Design Group, a digital marketing firm in Houston, Texas. Today we are going to be discussing how to handle giving out discounts as a small business owner, such as when and when not to give out discounts, as well as how giving out too many discounts can damage your business. Joining me today is experienced business owner Anthony Russell, my correspondent in the United Kingdom, Lauren Hicks, and my consumer consultant here in the United States, Justin Rail. So I'm going to open the show by asking you guys, when do the stores that you shop at or the businesses that you patronize give you discounts?
I haven't for a while. I need to again because they do amazing bath bombs and they're all vegan friendly, etc. There's this bath bomb company. I can't remember what they're called again, but Beauty Vault. I used to use them a lot, but then I thought I was going to move, so I didn't end up using them for a while. But they always give discounts whenever they're on holiday and they're basically you make orders. Usually you'll get your order within the same week. But if they're on a holiday, they always give everyone a discount. And when I've had one or two problems before, I've not begged for a discount. I've just said my problem, and the lady's automatically given me a discount code for a bit of money off to show she's sorry, just to make up for the issues.
Mm-hmm. It's a good example.
So they're a really good business. They're a small business, Beauty Vault, but they're really good when it comes to discounts, especially when they're on holiday.
I often get discounts when I'm showing up in person at fast food restaurants when I'm on the go, when I flash my veteran's ID.
Oh, that's cool.
And I find that a lot of businesses, especially larger ones, have special programs where you can get discounts or of up to 50% off your order,
right,
if you flash your veteran's ID or your military, police, fire, or paramedic ID.
And you find as well in some places children eat free. I've noticed in a hotel I was looking up the other day where I want to go for a few days. They let children stay and eat breakfast for free, which I think is great.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and most restaurants do that. Some restaurants do that as well, where they'll either give kids a discount or to eat for free.
Mm-hmm. It's very common.
Right. In my family, they run a seasonal calendar and gaming store that they set up at the local mall every year. So our two biggest discount opportunities that we give are a reopening discount to let people know we're there, and then of course when we're trying to close up after the holidays, we do a big clearance discount.
So it's a pop-up shop, basically.
Yeah, we usually run. It's a Go calendar and game store. She's like I guess would be sort of a franchise person. It's in the company, and we usually run it from about October to sometimes February of the following year, especially just the holiday store.
Right.
For the holidays, yeah.
All right, kind of like those small kiosks that pop up during holiday season.
Yeah, we've done the kiosk before, and at times she's actually had a standalone building. It just depends on what they need at the time of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, those businesses can be pretty expensive, but they often offer discounts to certain segments of the population.
Right.
Because I know that Chick-fil-A is a good example of this. They give free food to police officers, firefighters, and paramedics.
I've noticed that, and also there's a local grocery store where I live in the UK. It's called Iceland, and now instead of doing discounts, what they do is if the food is due to go out of date in 2 days, they give it away for free now instead of doing whereas you either pay the full price or you get it for free, which is great.
Right.
Especially if you get like a lot of poverty, there's people that don't feed their children properly, etc. And it's just nice to know that they can go in and get free food if they need to, and people that are struggling.
That's a good way to avoid food waste, because that way it doesn't have to go in the big dumpster in the back, or what I like to call the big square file out in the back of the building.
And it's a shame that a lot more places, restaurants like that, don't do that, because they like you said, they waste so much.
My eldest wasted loads years ago, and I was so used to. But my son, he used to eat anything. He was like a bottomless pit, so he would eat what she didn't eat. But a lot of the time, there was a lot of waste. And now I live my life with very little waste. I absolutely hate wasting food, etc.
That leads me into our first topic. We're going to talk about different reasons why you should give discounts. And one of the reasons why you'll see stores give discounts on certain products is because they want to get rid of excess inventory. They want to get rid of old or outdated inventory that's maybe gone out of style. That applies if you're in the fashion business. Obsolete merchandise, but in the example that you gave specifically about food, stores will mark down the food that's about to expire. They'll probably mark it at maybe 50% or more because they just want to get rid of it. They don't want to throw it away. They want to sell it. And depending on where you live, there are laws saying that you cannot sell expired food after a certain date. So you have no choice but to throw it away. You can't sell it. In some cases, you're probably prohibited from donating it because of how outdated it is. Some states require you to throw out expired food, and that is one reason why you'll see stores give discounts on this type of merchandise.
My local Walmart will actually mark down the day of expiry the bread on the day of or the day before, 70% off, so they can clear it out in their bakery section.
Mine does that too.
Well, okay, there's a few places, especially the greengrocers across the road. Don't get me wrong, they're great across the road, but they often have a lot of out-of-date stuff. Like you find, dairy products are out of date by like a couple of weeks.
I know that at some of my local grocery stores, I've seen dairy products be as much as 6 months out of date, and whenever I show that to the management, they always panic.
Yeah.
Oh, you're good. I was just going back to the restaurants about the waste and so forth. Like Justin said, that I mean, there's health regulations and stuff and laws against it, and they talking about how they waste so much. Some of the places around here literally what they don't sell within the 2 hour time frame, they literally during the day they're just constantly throwing away food every 1 to 2 hours that doesn't get sold to make fresh. So there is, like you said, there is regulations with that.
Food that's about to expire, perishable items, that's a legitimate reason to give it a nice discount because it's best to get something for it versus taking a loss on it after throwing it away. That is one good reason that you'll want to mark the prices down on it. You'll want to at least make some revenue versus nothing. You won't make any revenue throwing away a perishable product, but you will get a little something for selling it at a discounted rate. And moving on from expired food, there's also excess inventory. Maybe you have too much of one item and you just want to get rid of it. I've read stories about Walmart stores who ordered too many school supplies during back-to-school season, and when back-to-school season was over, their stockroom had too many supplies that they didn't sell. They just took it off the floor and stored it back there, waiting for next season.
Donated it to maybe people that need it, like shelters, etc. You know,
True.
These people sometimes think that's a good idea to donate it.
I don't know what the laws are in the UK, but I know that in the United States they have a sales tax holiday for school supplies where you don't have to pay the taxes on it if it's a school supply related item, such as shoes, paper, pens, pencils, certain types of electronics that you use at school.
For children's shoes, they don't pay tax, and for sanitary stuff for women for that time of the month, they don't charge tax on that anymore, on period products basically, so which is good. And so they do that for that, and they don't charge tax on children's shoes.
And where I live, it was last year, back when the pandemic was pretty high in our area, they actually, our governor did a sales tax weekend on actual groceries because of the pandemic and the cost of everything going up so much because with it.
Yeah, I know that some states have actually passed laws outlawing sales taxes on food that are not federal taxes, and they just increase the prices on things like socks, pants, shirts, and electronics to make up the difference in the state budget so that people can actually afford to buy their groceries without having to take too big a bite out of their budget. And I'm totally on board with that because being able to eat shouldn't have to be a privilege.
No. These tax breaks are an automatic discount applied on products that you're already selling. You don't even have to enforce the discount because the tax break just deducts a good chunk of it away already, making it more affordable and more attractive to the consumer. Moving on to the next reason to give a legitimate discount, and we've been kind of talking about this a little bit already, seasonal sales. Back to school season is a hot time for discounts. That's when you see all the items that you guys just mentioned, school supplies, clothes, going on sale. And then there's also around the holiday season, around Christmas time, you've got Black Friday, you've got the entire Christmas shopping season, your after Christmas sales or your after New Year's sales. Those are also examples of seasonal sales too.
Yeah.
Also,
car dealers like to put cars on clearance discounts when they are in January, February, and March, typically, because they don't want to have to pay ownership taxes on those cars in April when the car dealers have to pay their annual taxes on the inventory that they have on the lot.
Right.
I find as well, like, say, like, at the end of the summer, they start selling summer stuff really cheap, or at the end of the winter, they start selling winter stuff really cheap, if that makes sense.
Yeah, because they want to clear out the seasonal merchandise. So at the end of winter time, you're not going to need a pair of fence wool mittens in July when the temperature's 115 in the shade outside with humidity at 40 or 50%. That's not what you need.
No, I know, yeah. I think that's good, you know, they do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're also not going to want your pool weather gear in December when there's 2 feet of snow on the ground outside and the temperature's 15 degrees above zero.
What I used to do at the local shop, there's a shoe shop in the town I live in. Like, I don't wear boots these days anymore, but like, whenever it came to the summer, they would always put discounts on their boots. So I would buy 3 different colours of the same boots for cheaper. And you would get, in that shop, you get like 60 quid off some stuff. And I'm not even joking. And it's like amazing. So I would just like buy 3 pairs of boots at the end of the winter, at the end of the winter, cheaper.
That's the power of a discount, because if you can buy it on clearance like that and you have the room to store it for later, not only will they fit, but later on, if it still fits later on, you'll be prepared for future winter weather, because shoes only last about 4 to 6 months per pair.
Lauren, you described the power, not only the power of a discount, but the power of seasonal sales. You're able to buy all these different pairs of boots, save all this money. And that's because they were transitioning away into the summertime season, I'm assuming. We see this every year. We see it with winter clothes like jackets and boots and stuff like that. If you're a business that sells goods to the public and you sell seasonal merchandise, there's no reason not to have seasonal sales. When you're introducing new products, you'll want to come up with some sort of introductory discount to help make this product sell more.
Yeah, because you're going to want to create the idea that it's a good value in the mind of the consumer that your store aims to serve through the products that you sell.
Right.
My stepmom, I don't know if she still does it now. The kids are older, because obviously my younger brother and sister are older now. So as soon as Christmas would end, she would start buying the next Christmas gifts in January because of the sale.
Smart.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what we do with our store is we usually do a seasonal sale about halfway through the term, just right before Christmas and the holidays hit. Then after the holidays will hit, that's when we will turn that in to a bigger discount for a clearance sale to avoid having to send a lot of merchandise back to the vendor.
Right, because sending merchandise back to the vendor is akin to a grocery store throwing out all the expired perishables, because you want to make sure you can make a profit, even if it's not a big profit. You want to make something versus take a loss.
And speaking of that, what we do is we actually do have that disposable merchandise at the end. The only thing we don't send back in terms of merchandise is the calendars, and what they require us to do is to tear the back last month of the calendar out and the UPC code out so it can't be resold online and other people pop of it, and then we just turn it into we recycle the paper and so forth. So we try not to to waste a lot of money, but that's the only thing that they require us to throw out is the calendars. Of course, they'll be useless.
I don't understand is I've seen it a lot, like at the end, say like there was a calendar from 2021, they'll still be trying to sell it in December this year, you know? And it's just, so you see stuff that's out of date, like calendars, and they're still selling them in places.
They just want to see if it'll sell, because maybe people like to collect calendars, regardless
We,
of what it is.
a lot, but some of the ones that they do that though, some of them, the only way I would buy that and one I would look for if it'd be like a 2-year calendar.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
So I've done that calendar collecting before myself because I like the pictures in them. Not necessarily because it's out of date, but because they have different JPEGs year to year that on the pictures in the calendar itself. And they're a cheap and easy way to have pictures on your wall without having to go out and pay like $15-20 on just one picture. You can pay like 5 or 6 and have 12.
Yeah. I like that idea.
That's a good way of recycling those old calendars. I wanted to ask all of you guys, or have any of you ever taken advantage of a new product that was being introduced because they gave you a deal that you couldn't say no to, an introductory discount that just couldn't be passed up?
Yeah, I have. I can't remember what, because it's been like a long time now since, but I used to get them a lot. Like they used to have a new item out and they'd have like multiple of it, or they'd have 2 for a certain price rather than 1. And I've done that in the past.
It really helps the product sell. It helps the products fly off the shelves faster versus they were sold at full price. And Anthony, Justin, what have you guys seen?
I used to take advantage of the 2 for $5 Burger King Whopper deal when they had that, because it would be 2 burgers for the price of 1 burger.
Right.
And I tend to burn through gazillions of calories because of how far I walk.
Yeah.
Well, with grocery shop I shop at, they usually have deals on like certain foods where they'll have it for 2 for £5 or 2 for £4, and it's amazing. So I do try to grab the deals on that, but sometimes the deals are for only online. Like if you go into store, they don't always give you the detailed deals that they do online. But yeah, I that as well.
Yeah, we take advantage a lot because we watch a lot of TV. We take a lot of advantage of a lot of the streaming service discounts where they'll say, "I'll pay the first month," and they'll give you 2 months at half off or 2 months free, and then your payment will resume normally. We do a lot of that type of discount.
Oh, there's a trick as well with some places, some sites, some streaming things, etc. If you say you're going to leave, if you're going to unsubscribe, they then offer you a discount, and there's one, I can't remember what it is, but it offers you a discount for the rest of your life if you're willing to stay.
I was just saying, our local cable company around here, if I go back to it, what I do like about it, since it's a monopoly down here for cable television, is they will give discounts for disabled people, whether they're veterans or just disabled because of whatever other handicap they may have. And that's something I don't see a whole lot with businesses. If they do, they of course they don't advertise it quite a bit. You have to ask for it.
TV licensing in UK, they give discounts to people with what's it called, black and white eyesight, one eye, blind people, etc. And it's the same with shoes. Some places, say like you've got an amputee or whatever, they'll give you half price shoes, which is cool.
That's a nice discount. It really helps out the customer if they're facing some sort of disability and maybe they don't need to pay full price. Maybe they only need 1 shoe because they're an amputee. We've talked about how there's discounts for disabled people. And Justin, you discussed this at the beginning of the show. I also want to talk about military discounts, like you mentioned earlier. Military discounts are one of the most legitimate discounts you can give someone.
I agree with that. And the reason why is because if the person's a veteran, especially a disabled veteran, they are not usually able to, depending on what particular disability they have, they do not have the ability to hold down a full-time job, either for psychiatric or physical health reasons, meaning that they can't go out and defeat inflation by working a side job and have to rely on their government pension to supply everything they need as far as their living expenses. And anytime their expenses go up, they have to cut back on an expense somewhere else.
Right.
And that can lead to some very tough decisions.
Yes. Military discounts are something that every small business should look into, or every business in general, I should say. Not only are we helping if they have certain disabilities, but it's just nice to say thank you to those who serve and make our nation a safe place to live every day, and that we can wake up every day and have the same freedoms and be able to go to work, spend time with family. And none of that's possible without our military who go out there and keep us safe. So I think it's just beyond...
It's the thin green, blue, brown, white, and red lines between us and absolutely total chaos.
Exactly. So small business owners need to keep this in mind. Say thank you to your veterans. Give them a discount on certain products wherever it's possible. We're going to talk more later about different types of discounting strategies.
I want to touch on the Chick-fil-A thing. The reason that they give free food to police officers is because they know that as a food place, they're often targeted by the homeless people who hang around places like that.
Mm-hmm.
But if the police are hanging out there, the homeless people are going to go somewhere else.
Right.
So it acts as a crime deterrent.
Mm-hmm.
Remember what coffee place it is, but there's a place down here in the UK, some places that do give police, NHS workers, like ambulance workers, for example, etc., free drinks.
If I were a gas station, I would offer a free refill cup and free refills to police officers,
Mm-hmm.
paramedics, firefighters, and the military, because I know they would need it.
Right.
And it would be a service that they would find useful.
Yes, I agree. These military and first responder discounts can be hot sellers, especially if you have products that are normally very pricey to the average consumer. And I've worked with a few businesses that do this. And
since the pandemic, the NHS and key workers have been getting a lot more freebies and discounts
Mm-hmm.
because of their work over the pandemic, and it's still ongoing now. They're still getting freebies and discounts, etc., that other people don't get.
Mm-hmm.
And all they can do is show their key worker or NHS card.
Right.
Yeah, that's one thing that I forgot to mention earlier about Chick-fil-A, is that the way you receive your free food if you're a police officer from them is, one, you have to be in your uniform, and two, you have to be in your police cruiser.
Mm-hmm. Right. They want to make sure they're giving it to real police officers.
Yeah.
Yes, and I live near several military installations, and when the military people go in there, they're also given free food by Chick-fil-A. Very patriotic organization to making sure our soldiers and police stay fueled up on the go.
Yes.
And key work and NHS people, they had so much stress over lockdown, etc. They had so much abuse of some, because I know someone who works as a key worker, and he had loads of abuse from customers over lockdown, even now. And it's just like, it's just like, sometimes you think, just respect your key workers, even if you're having a bad day.
Mm-hmm.
They need respect for what they're doing, because they're keeping you fed in lockdown, they're keeping you healthy in lockdown, etc.
And now this time frame, really, what we, along with all those public service people that we depend on, is within our area, at least anyway, workers in general, employees, and employee discounts probably much appreciated, along with the extra incentives that they offer for payment, because it's really hard in our area in our business stature down here to actually get people to come and work. Period.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I know that some fast food places will offer a 50% discount to their employees, or give their employees free food
Right.
to eat on their lunch break, just as a loyalty bonus for actually showing up, clocking in, and doing your job.
Yeah, my brother's partner, she used to work in a place called Wagamama, which is a really nice restaurant, and they do like what's it called, noodles and stuff like that. But basically, she would get free food meals while she was at work, and she'd be able to take a free meal home as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I know used to give her on the way home, she would give her free meal to a homeless person if she saw one. But yeah, they're quite good. They're quite generous with their employees.
And a footnote I would like to add back when it comes to businesses, because I owned a store back in the early 2000s as well, a gaming store I ran for a little bit. These discounts, when it comes to merchandise, are actually they really are discounts. This is not something that businesses can actually claim the deducted amount on their taxes or anything like that for some sort of a little bit of reimbursement. It's actually just exactly what it says. It is a discount, and it's negative off of the original price. They're not getting money back on this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know that T-Mobile actually stated this on their YouTube channel, that anybody who is a first responder or military personnel who shows up in uniform with their government-issued ID that verifies their status as a first responder or military, that they can walk out with a free activated state-of-the-art device at no charge.
Wow.
With no service bill, because they want to be not only the premier carrier, but they want to make sure that the responders and military have the latest and greatest equipment so they can do their jobs to keep our country where it needs to be from a safety perspective.
Yeah, they're doing that with the Ukrainians as fleeing as well. They're giving them free SIM cards and stuff, which I think is really good.
Mm-hmm. Those are all honorable ways of giving discounts and free products to people who deserve them, who really should have them. Now, I have a question for all you guys now, moving on to our next topic. Have you guys ever partaken in any loyalty programs that the business that you patronize offer? And if you have these loyalty programs ever given you something that you could truly benefit from, like a freebie or a discount on future products?
Yeah, this coffee shop where I live, this quite popular one that's been around for donkey's years, they give loyalty cards, and every time you buy so many coffees, you get us coffee free.
Mm-hmm.
And they're usually quite expensive as well, so it's worth. And I think Costa Coffee do it as well. They do loyalty.
Right.
A local grocery store in this area that's in the southeast area typically. I don't know where else their other locations are, but I do know that they do a loyalty program where you spend so much in certain categories, and they'll give you like $4 to $20 in credit that you can spend toward free groceries. I find that really helpful, because when I patronize that store and I buy enough of a certain product, it means that I've got money in the bank at that particular place that takes 60 days to expire. So I can actually bank that discount for later. If I run into a financial situation, I can say, okay, I've got this much. I can go here and get these groceries to tide me over until my next paycheck or whatever.
Yeah, there's this scheme here in the UK where people save up all year for Christmas, and they get to use their stamps towards food at Christmas. And my neighbour Linda uses it, and when you use it, you actually get free money as well on top of what you're saving, which is great.
Yeah.
I think in terms from a business aspect, the one that we utilize on a pretty much yearly basis, and it's something in our state that's required, is bundled type insurance on car insurances and homeowners insurance and so forth. That's something that we have to have, and we get the benefits of the combining discounts on it.
Yeah.
I know that Kroger, a national outfit, has a couple of local stores in this area that has a special agreement with the state government where if you give the representative of the food bank $1, they're able to go into that Kroger or one of the local Krogers and spend that dollar as if it's actually $7.
Oh, that's
toward
cool.
merchandise to hand out to those who can't afford their groceries.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, in the supermarkets, they have like baskets where people can buy food and put it in for the food banks, and they get collected every week.
Yeah, my local grocery stores do that as well. And also, I've noticed that the Children's Miracle Network Hospital Group has partnered with Walmart. You decide to round up to the next even dollar, where you can contribute toward their operating expenses so that the patients and family members never have to receive even a small bill from them for the medical treatment of their seriously ailing child. And I find that's really cool.
Yes.
And I always donate when I have and I always do that whenever I have the ability to spare that. Not only because it will make my financial math easier, but also because it's a great way to support a needed service in our community.
What I found nice as well, there's this girl, she's a couple years old, I think, and she's suffering from DIPG, this brain cancer that is incurable. And today at the hospital, an old man came up to them and gave them money for to donate to them in cash in hand, which I thought was sweet.
Yes.
But obviously, I didn't do that all the time, give money to people randomly. But I thought that was really nice.
Anytime you can give a discount for a very honorable reason like that, that's always going to be legitimate. And another good way of being honorable when you're giving discounts as a business owner, and this goes back to what you told us earlier, Lauren, at the beginning of the show, when a customer had a bad experience with your business or something went wrong, giving them a discount or even a freebie the next time they do business with you should make up for whatever problem they had. It really depends on what happened, but if it was maybe a misplaced item or maybe it got lost, you know, something along those lines. Whenever a customer has a bad experience with your company, you'll want to try to see if you can give them a discount on another service, or if you can give them a freebie, that's even better too. In addition to what you said earlier, do you have any other examples of that you'd like to share? Anthony, Justin, do y'all have any examples of this too?
Yeah, I know that smart thermostats that are Wi-Fi capable can be very expensive.
Mm-hmm.
And I find that the service contract has saved me a bundle of money when they've had to swap out my thermostat twice, so that I didn't have to pay $900 on thermostats on my new HVAC system they put in, as long as I keep paying that $200 a month I owe.
Right.
And that's really nice because it means that they've not only honored their warranty, but they're making sure that I'm actually able to use the system and maintain a comfortable living space, because I have a special type of disability that doesn't allow me to correctly thermal regulate.
Right.
And thermal self-regulation is one of the issues that I do have. But because of that, I have to keep my thermostat at a certain temperature so that I don't go off the deep end in a psychiatric kind of manner.
I think the only other one that I can think of that we deal with in our household is my spouse, where she's a healthcare worker. She has worked for organizations where they have honored that fact and gotten certain discounts and so forth on events or products and so forth.
Have any of you guys ever had a bad experience somewhere that after you spoke to the manager or called corporate or even the owner of the business, that they gave you a discount or a freebie to make up for that bad experience?
Oh, I've done it. I've brutally complained before, like to Amazon multiple times as well. And then they end up giving you a bloody free gift card. It's great.
Right. Yeah, that's an example. They don't want to lose a paying customer. They want to make sure that you keep going back to them. They don't want you going somewhere else.
Write them with a bad review, and then they'll give you a discount or like a gift card or whatever.
And speaking of Amazon and e-commerce retailers in general, one method that they use to give discounts is when you subscribe to their newsletter and they give you a certain percentage off after you subscribe, or when you abandon your shopping cart, you add a product into your cart, or maybe you even view it, you get an email later reminding you that you have this item in your cart, or that you have interest in this item because you viewed it. And then they offer you a discount code to go back and buy it.
I've had that before, emails.
That's a good example that you mentioned that, actually, because it reminded me we're Prime members with Amazon. I'm getting a lot of emails here lately where they're offering a $15 discount off my next purchase if I start taking advantage of the free unlimited photo storage that comes with the Prime service.
Yes.
Yeah, they're doing that with the book thing now as well. They're saying that with Amazon Books now you can get so many books free on your Amazon Prime membership now as well. I got an email about that.
Right. Yes, that's a perfect example of giving freebies and also giving discounts to an online retailer. It's common for online retailers to do this because they don't want you to walk away and then never come back. They retarget customers who just browse the stores or they add something to their cart. They want to make sure that they don't miss out on this revenue. They want to make sure that you come back, you buy the product that you were looking at or you add it to your cart, and to make the deal look even more attractive, they will give you a small discount on it to encourage you to come back and complete your order.
Amazon are constantly emailing me, telling me not to forget about my basket, which I don't. In advance, if I know I'm going to be buying stuff in like a week or two off Amazon, I start to build a basket before. And they're constantly emailing me saying, don't forget about this in your basket. But I've been a Prime member for ages because it's easier for me because of health conditions. I struggle to go out sometimes, so I get everything delivered pretty much.
They're retargeting you because they want to keep you as a customer. They want to make sure that they don't lose out on possible revenue simply because you didn't complete your purchase. That's the purpose of these emails. They just want to make sure that they can make up these extra dollars.
Yeah, I know that Walmart often will target me with offers when I use my Walmart Pay at the self-checkout. They'll be like, yo, you bought this, add these other essentials and buy these essentials that we know you buy frequently.
And then you got these discounts to show customer appreciation. What about the discounts that you get printed on your receipts when you make a purchase? Like from my wife does a lot of Hobby Lobby and grocery stores and stuff, right? You get the instant discount.
Right. That's true.
Yeah, or they receipt that you'll get a discount next time, or they give you coupons, etc.
Right. You'll get email coupons. Maybe you'll get them in the mail. And then going back to loyalty programs, if you have those cards, like Kroger has the Plus card that you can use for an instant discount on your purchases, as well as points that can be redeemed for gas at their gas station. Those are just some more examples of retail discounts.
Yeah, and Food Lion in particular has what they call the MVP card. If you spend a certain minimum amount on your offers, and they'll vary month to month on how much you have to spend on various product categories, but they'll offer you anywhere from $4 to $20 in free groceries, MVP rewards that you can spend on real merchandise up to that amount on your next order.
There's some things like some broadband, etc., and where they'll give you offers where if you sign up to them or whatever, if they're genuine companies, they'll give you like £150 Amazon gift card or some things like free Spotify, etc. For just signing.
I know that
service is very a popular discount now. I see a lot of that.
Yeah, I have 2 streaming services that I'm subscribed to for video and audio, and a third one that's an audio-only subscription where the third one that's the audio-only is Pandora, and I get ad-free weekends just by redeeming my T-Mobile offer to watch a 2-minute ad, and I get 48 hours worth of free music without advertising because I'm a T-Mobile customer until 2023.
Yeah, EE are like that with their things. If you have a phone with them, you get money off your broadband.
Yeah, Spectrum does that too. In fact, Spectrum over here, which is also does business as Charter Communications, unless you have their home internet, they actually will not take you on as a mobile subscriber because they require you have a home internet first before you can be a mobile subscriber. Just one of the ways that they're trying to make sure that you're bundled all in on their company.
Right. And bundling is a great way to give discounts on several products and services you have at once, because you can save the customer money if you bundle services. It makes it look more attractive to the customer too when they see that they can get at least 3 or more options at one low price.
Yeah. Especially when you bundle the triple play of TV, phone, and home internet all in one. I have what they call triple play bundle with Spectrum, where I have a home phone, I have home internet, and I have their triple play gold package on the TV, but I get it through it for a discount through my hauler, which all went in on a bulk deal. 188 homes all signed a contract with Spectrum to creatively bargain for a lower price over a longer term of time.
That and then another thing that we do, we have a Spectrum charter for our internet service, and originally we had another company. So there's which they gave us a price matching discount for 2 years, where we'll pay just a flat amount for, like, say, the next 2 years versus, and then it'll go over to their full amount. But they could retain me as a customer, actually got me as a new customer, because I told them what I want to pay, and I told them what I was currently paying for my current internet. We just needed a higher package than what my phone service offered, which is why we changed service.
Yeah, they gave you a good deal there. And business owners need to be able to look at what these big boys are doing, because these are big companies, these are conglomerates we're talking about. Small business owners can certainly follow them as an example in some cases. And it's important to think about how you can save your customer money, but at the same time make sure that your company is not taking a loss because you're giving them a discount. Now I want to move on to talking about what to do when a customer asks for a discount. As business owners, we decide when we're going to give discounts, and we decide how much we're going to give as a discount.
It's up to us to decide whether or not we're going to allow them to dictate what we can charge them.
Right, right.
Yeah, some people, they're entitled narcissists, and they expect a discount when they don't even need a discount.
Right. We're going to discuss all that in detail in the next topic. What I want to talk about first is what business owners should do if a customer asks for a discount and they're not entitled to receive a discount. Now, the first step in that process is to first find out, why do they want this discount? Why are they asking you for it? You'll want to listen to your customer and see why they're seeking such a discount. Because remember, you can't just give them a discount just because they ask for it. Once you listen to their reasoning, think about whether or not it is a good reason to. For example, if the customer says simply because they can't afford your services, that isn't a reason to give them a discount. That's not a reason to give them a discount at all. Instead, what you do is you offer them another product or service that's comparable to what they want to buy, and then you'll want to see if it has close to the same amount of value as a product the customer is seeking. If this looks good in your customer's eyes, if they feel that they can get the same amount of value out of what you're offering them as an alternative to what they were seeking, they may go with that instead. Therefore, they win, and your business also wins. However, if a customer just simply tells you, I don't have the money, I want you to give me this anyway, no, they can't make that final decision. You can't just give it to them just because they tell you to give it to them. I use this example all the time. You can't go to Walmart, pick out a TV that's $1,000, and tell them you're only going to pay $500 for it. It doesn't work that way. That is one of the times when the customer is not right at all.
Some people will say they can't afford your services when in reality they can, because I've witnessed it a lot. My stepmom's done it a lot. You know, she's acted really narcissistic at times when in actual fact there's been nothing wrong with her paying for the full price or whatever. They just think they're entitled to cheaper.
The important thing to do is when a customer says that they can't afford it, you'll want to confirm that pricing is the only reason they want a discount. You want to make sure that there are no other obstacles that are keeping them from buying. Most of the time it is usually pricing, and they think, and sometimes customers do feel entitled to discounts just because they ask. And that actually leads us into our next topic, when you should not give discounts. And we've pretty much covered a few good reasons here. Now, for one thing, you can't just simply give a discount because they ask for one because you know them. People like this are not your customer. If you start a business for the first time and your first customer is somebody that you've known forever, and then they insist that they give you a discount because they are your friend, that person's not your customer. That person's not your customer at all. If they're just simply asking for a discount because you've known them forever, that person is not your customer. There's no reason to play favorites. You don't just give discounts because they've known you for a long time. They're just trying to take advantage of you at that point.
I was going to mention that because I've experienced that with my personal sales of that exact same scenario, and what it's doing is open the door for that continuation to keep happening. If you do it once, they're going to ask for it every time.
Yes, yes. It becomes a habit. It becomes a very toxic habit. We've actually personally had some problems too where we tried to offer $2,000 worth of work because that's how much it would have cost to get this project done for this one particular possible lead we had. They kept insisting that we give them a discount to $800. It doesn't work that way because they would win and we would lose if we had done that, because this project that they were seeking involved a lot of work. And this person was an acquaintance of ours who knew our business. We didn't know each other that well, but he felt that he was entitled to get a discount with all his smooth talk. And he kept trying to manipulate and smooth talk us into giving him a discount. And we knew he was just trying to take advantage of us, so we said no to that. We had to say no to that. He was looking to win while we took a big loss. So you don't give discounts just because they ask for it. They don't have the right to control you. Whenever you offer a product or service to someone, you got to put it in writing that this is what you're going to offer and this is how much you're going to charge. And after they agree to that, they can't do anything else outside of the four corners of that agreement. That also includes giving discounts. Once you agree on a price and it's in writing, it's solid. The best thing to do is explain to the customer why they cannot get a discount. And if they say no, then they say no. They leave you and they go somewhere else. And sadly, that's just how it is with some customers. You can't just give in to their demands just because they want to save money. Prices are not based on their budget. They are based on how much time that you're going to put into this, the quality of the product, and the value of the product, which is the most important of all three of these items.
You have to be motivated by the profit motive, so you want to try to make at least a 25% premium off of what you're selling so that you can fund not only the expenses for what you have to pay in order to manufacture the product, but also be able to fund your own living expenses on top of that, especially as a small business, because otherwise you're not going to break even, you're not going to make a profit, you'll go out of business and end up working for someone else.
Yeah, that's actually exactly what we do. We do a 20 to 25% markup on all the products. Just that, and that's what we made off of the item. A lot of things that I'm seeing around here as far as big corporations when it comes to discounts is it kind of goes along with this is the cell phone companies around here, T-Mobile, AT&T, now in order to retain customers that want to walk away because that would have walked away because you can't offer a X discount that another new company will provide you if you join as a new customer. These two companies are offering the same discounts to current customers as they would offer somebody that walks in off the street. And I think that's really showing good, like a customer appreciation discount.
Yes, I agree.
My stepmom, I'm not even joking, like, she'll expect you to give her something for free or really cheap, but if you want to buy something off her or have something off her, she'll make you pay for it, even if it's 1p. She will make, if it's worth 1p, she'll make you pay for it, like, or she'll make you pay extortionate for something that's not worth what it is. Like, but she'll expect you to give her something for free. And I'm not joking.
Yeah, people will take advantage of you. If you do it once, they're going to ask for it again.
My advice to business owners who don't want to get trapped in that circle, in that never-ending circle of asking for discounts, what you'll want to do is you'll want to make it clear that it's a limited time only deal, one time, maybe two times, and that they need to let their customers know that they're not entitled to receive that discount again. And also, as business owners, when you give a discount, you don't want to do it just because you want to retain a customer. What you want to do is you want to give this discount out of appreciation. It should never be based on customer retention, because if it is, then you will get yourself trapped into that cycle. They're going to keep asking for that discount, and then they'll start threatening to take their business somewhere else if you don't give it to them. So never give it for retention. Only give it because you're saying thank you for being a valued customer, and we love having you as a customer.
That's why Chick-fil-A gives free food to cops, is because they know that cops are a valuable customer, even though cops can usually afford what they need to get.
Yes.
But the reason they do the free food is because they know that cops provide excellent service to our community, number one. And number two, they're always trying to protect the community, and Chick-fil-A wants to make sure that the police officers in this country have the resources they need to do the job they do.
That's right.
And there have been situations where I've just had to just take the loss and not offer the discount, just mainly because, I've had a situation where one customer was really pushing me hard for the discount. or can I offer them a better deal? And it finally broke down to I broke out my vendor book and on the particular item they want. It's like, and broken down. It's like, this is manufacturer price for it. This is the manufacturer's suggested retail price for it. This is what I pay for the product to resell, and et cetera, to literally show them, you're getting the best price I can offer you.
You should never, ever take pressure from a customer like that. If they keep pressuring you to give a discount, then they're not your customer. Your customers are the ones who are honest, and they will pay for the services and products as they are presented, and they won't argue about it. And these would also be your repeat customers who will repeatedly give you business, never have a problem with anything. Then, at that point, you can give a discount if it's a customer that you really enjoy doing business with and never complains, they never give you any problems. Then that's when you give a discount. But if it's someone who's just pushing you, it's unprofessional on their part as a customer, because even as a customer, you should maintain professionalism when conducting business. And on top of that, and most importantly, when people ask you for discounts in a method like that, it shows they don't respect your business. They don't respect your business. They don't respect what you do. They view you as just someone who's doing this out of their garage or has a mom and pop shop that doesn't abide by any corporate level standards. And it shows that they don't view you as the same as the big boys. And they should, because you are a professional business. You own a company. In a way, you are in the same league as the other businesses. Nobody should treat you differently just because you're not a conglomerate. They should still treat you the same way, with the same level of respect.
I myself will sometimes ask for the military discount when I show my ID, because I have ask for ID written on the back of my debit card at some places.
Well, I think you have the right for that.
I don't do it every time.
My situation was, I was in a situation, my store was crammed in between a Walmart and a Blockbuster within the same exit that I was in that later where I opened my business, and they were wanting the Walmart price, who may be paying 33 cents for this item and reselling it for $12 or $19.99, whereas I'm not paying 33 cents because I don't have the ability as a small business to buy in bulk. I'm paying maybe, say, $3 for this particular item and charging $12 for it instead of $19.99. So I was already taking a loss compared to Walmart,
Right.
And then that would be an additional loss if I would give them an additional discount because they felt they were entitled to it.
Right? At that point, you're just giving the product away for free.
Exactly.
That's actually a very important point. That's going to lead us into our final topic, which is the dangers of giving discounts willy-nilly. So what it sounds like, Anthony, that you almost faced was a possible pricing war with Walmart.
Yeah, that's a good comparison. It says
one of the dangers of giving too many discounts is that when your competitors start to learn about what your strategy is, then they're going to start cutting down their price to beat yours. It's going to result in this crazy pricing war where, in the end, only one's going to be able to keep selling and the other one's going to get squashed. Once it comes to the point to where you can't cut your price any lower, you're pretty much done. Your competitor won at that point.
It actually would get to the point where, I would, the products that I would get in, I know what I should sell them for is my 25-30% markup, but it actually got to the point in order to sell some of these items, it kind of was a pricing war because I'm looking up what this is going for on Amazon, what is Walmart selling the same item for, so I could use that information to base my price so I can kind of be comfortable. And yeah, I know I was taking a loss, but at least I'm still getting something.
Exactly. It's important to make sure that when you give a discount, it's not too often. And you want to make sure that this discount has some sort of exclusivity to it to avoid your competitors from finding out about it, because you don't want to end up in that pricing war where you're the guy at the bottom. You've already marked it up as much as you could, only to come down to a certain threshold where if you mark it any lower than you've already done, you pretty much can't sell the product anymore. Your competitor's making the money, and if you were to market any lower, you basically give it away for free.
It's very true.
Another danger of giving too many discounts, and we've talked about this already, it gives the impression that you will give anybody a discount. So if you give a friend a discount, then they're going to tell a friend, and then they're going to tell another friend, and then pretty soon they're all going to be coming to you asking for discounts that they're not entitled to.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I myself have pretty much figured out which local fast food restaurants, if I'm eating in person, will give me a discount and which ones won't.
Right.
And the ones that do, I like to show them that I appreciate the discount by showing them my military ID when they have to run my card behind the counter.
Right.
Just so they know that when they've given me the discount, that they've done so with a good reason, so that they feel good.
It's important to show your ID, just to show that you're being honest and that you're not just some impersonator, trying to mooch off of that discount that they don't deserve, because you are a veteran. You do deserve that discount. But somebody who's impersonating military with stolen valor, they're not entitled to that discount. So that's why it's important to ask for military ID, or if you're a first responder, your ID identifying you as police, fire, or paramedic.
Yeah, that's why the discount at Chick-fil-A for police, I don't know if they do it for firefighters and paramedics as well, but it's only when you're in uniform in the company vehicle.
Right.
So if you're a firefighter or an ambulance EMT provider or a police officer, in order to receive your free food at Chick-fil-A, you have to be in the vehicle that is the emergency response vehicle, and you have to be in your uniform.
Right.
And flash your organization ID that identifies you as a responder.
Mm-hmm. Right. That's an example of making sure only specific people get a discount, and that's what they offer it for. Nobody else is going to get a discount just because they asked for one. And giving too many discounts can also be very damaging to your overall brand and its image, because now you're giving your general public the message that the value of your products or services are lower than the original price. Now think about that. That can be very damaging to whatever you're selling. That can be very damaging to your image.
Yeah, I know that people like giving discounts to police officers, firefighters, and paramedics because they do valuable public service.
Right.
And it's the rare person that says a military veteran should not get a discount.
Right. I can't imagine any business that would do that. When you give too many discounts in general, your products and services start to lose their value image-wise. Now people think that they're being overcharged because the discount looks too good to be true, you could say, right? Versus the original price. And that's why you don't want to give too many discounts. You don't want to devalue yourself. You're shooting yourself in the foot when you have to keep giving discounts on all of your major products and services. It's making them look less valuable, and when people think something is too cheap, they're going to think that it's probably not a quality product, and they're going to look for something that's a little bit better. You don't want to do that to yourself, because as a business owner, you're supposed to be cut above the rest. You're supposed to be better than everybody else.
I think a lot of this spans from the customer really not understanding the difference between a corporation and a small business, such as my situation of just a storefront,
right,
and Walmart versus Blockbuster. They don't understand the economy of not everybody is getting the product equally, and therefore the pricing is based on literally what you're getting it for. I mean, you have to make a profit, and you can't afford those discounts as much as the big boys as a small business.
Exactly, and there's nothing wrong with trying to explain that to a customer. If you're polite to the customer and explain your reasoning why you can't give a discount, I see nothing wrong with that. They need to understand that what you're giving them at the price you're selling for is packed with value. You need to stress the importance of value to a customer before they automatically write you off as too expensive. And it doesn't hurt to explain how other competitors in your area are probably selling the same product or service at a much higher rate. So if you can add some value to what you're offering versus what your competitor's offering at a lower price, that'll make the deal look more attractive. And more small business owners need to do that, because right now corporations are really beefing up their marketing, and that does hinder people's ability to see the difference between a small business and a large corporation, because the larger corporations are putting a lot more effort into marketing based on the observations I've made over the years, and that's what makes them look more attractive.
They're building profiles of their customers because they're wanting to keep them for the long term. And some of them that are big enough to do so are willing to take losses on certain products so that they can make larger profits off of more expensive items.
Mm-hmm, that's right.
They're trying to sell stuff that's affordable for them to resell at a markup significant enough for them that they not only fund their expenses but walk away with a profit at the end of the day.
What really helped me in my situations where, as I provided as a movie and a game disc service, as I provided a service that your Blockbusters and Walmart didn't, is if they were really not too bad going on the fact that, I can't offer you a discount. What I would offer them is a service where within the first, say, 90 days or something, even if it's a brand new product, they have trouble with the disc gets scratched, I offered a service where I could refurbish them. I had a refurbishing machine. Now I would offer them one free refurbishment within a 6-month time period if they bought it from me. And that's the service Walmart and Blockbuster did not offer.
I like that. That's a great way to give your customer something of value. Whenever it doesn't affect profitability, or give away free products as substitutes for discounts or other things that they may be seeking, it's important to make sure that whenever you're discounting, it doesn't affect profitability. Because if you give too many discounts, it'll create huge problems with profitability. And this is going to be the most important topic I want to talk about here. If you give too many discounts, it creates major problems with profitability. And let's say, for example, if your business has a 30% gross profit margin and you offer a 15% discount, then you've given away half of your gross profit already, and now you're going to need to sell twice as much of the discounted products or services just to make up for that loss. Not only that, not only will you have to put in more work in selling,
it can reduce quality across the board when you offer too many discounts, because
yes,
not only will you then have to put more effort into your sales team, but you'll also have to put more effort into the quality of the merchandise you're selling.
Right. And if you're giving too many discounts, you might have to start cutting costs, which means you're cutting down production costs, you're cutting down staffing costs. That can result in an overall reduction of quality in the product or service you're trying to offer. And at first, we were worried about discounts making your products look cheap. Now giving too many discounts can actually result in your products becoming too cheap to the point to where their quality makes them look unattractive to potential customers who could be utilizing them and benefiting from them.
With me, the scenario was kind of a little bit different. It did affect where, the quality was affected, but also, the discounts were, and I wasn't even felt I was given too many, but at the end of the day, they totaled the register out, put it in my Quicken, and I'm going into the red. It actually resulted in affecting my employee. I had an employee at the time, and I actually had to let them go because there towards the end, it just, small business, it just got to the point where I couldn't keep on a part-time employee to help me out.
Right. These discounts hinder you from taking care of overhead costs and vital operating costs.
And that is always a problem, because it can be a fine line between making your product affordable and charging way too much.
Exactly. You've got to know.
And you've got to be at least similar, maybe not the cheapest option, but definitely be one of the more affordable options in your industry that you work with. Because if you can do that, you will be one that the customers look to, as long as you have the right sales and support team underneath you.
Exactly.
Because if you can provide the best customer service in your area, in your industry, that's going to be why people come back to you, because they're going to want quality customer service.
And that's why the free services like I offered it and other companies offer come in handy when you can't really provide monetarily a discount, because you offer them a free service along with you buy this item. That's showing them that this is a more affordable price situation than versus going to get somewhere else. This is a more affordable and sensible purchase because I'm getting this along with it within X amount of time.
Right.
It makes it more appealing. Do that for them want to buy from you.
Yeah, because they'll think that, okay, this is maybe not the cheapest option, but it's comparable to other options I've got, and at least this company's offering this little bundle thing here where if I have a problem, they'll resolve it within XYZ amount of time, if the problem occurs within XYZ amount of time.
It's really no different from your cable company, like we were talking about, bundling up packages and so forth. It's very similar to that. You're getting this for this and so forth.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah, because it all comes, especially with cable companies getting into the phone service game, they can send it over the same wire through the same access portal device in your home through the same wire. So it just makes sense to bundle the services, because at least if you've got the service bundled, they can say, okay, this is mine, and I can go ahead and use this service as much as I need to, and I don't have to worry about paying extra because I'm getting this, and this for this price, whereas someone else that has these with separate providers will pay this much more that I don't want to afford.
Mm-hmm. It's important to stress the importance of value in anything you sell to your customers. It may look like a lot of money at the time, but when you can stress to them what they're getting for the money they're spending and show them why they should buy it versus what their competitor's selling, it creates a picture in their mind. They'll see that maybe this money they're spending isn't so much after all, and they're in the end they're getting a good deal.
Yeah, because if you can convince your customer that you're the best deal that they can get in their area, you're going to be the one that they plunk their cash on.
Exactly.
And with the customers, you know, they could use their products that I offer them with that 90-day time period, that with a little bit more ease of comfort, because, oh, well, if I accidentally scratch this or somehow it gets misused or so ever, I've got 90 days that I can come back and this guy can attempt to repair the disc for me at no cost to me. So it looks, you know, they could kind of use the product in a little bit more, I would say, comfort.
Yeah, and when you had that service available to customers, they'd be able to say that it's not as big a deal if it got damaged within the refurbished warranty time that you offered, so they wouldn't worry about it as much, and they're more likely to get more value out of it going forward, because maybe within that time frame they might not be as careful with it, or if something happens, if maybe they have a kid that accidentally damages it or whatever, they won't view that as, it's not going to be as big an impact to them because you had the ability to solve their issue.
Mm-hmm.
So ultimately, that creates the impression in their mind that you're the best value for the cash that they are going to spend on this. And that's why your repeat customers repeated business with you, because they wanted that security blanket that you were offering.
And it works. I got experience on that. That works as far as getting repeat customer business.
Mm-hmm. Anthony, it really shows that you knew how to handle customers. You've got great customer service skills. You know how to handle their issues. You know exactly when to give them a discount versus when not to give a discount. And you're good with your pricing strategies. You were born to be a business owner, and I definitely commend you for that. Those are some great skills.
Yeah, I know that my mobile phone company offers me a discount on my service, even though I've got 3 lines with them. Not only are they offering me the multi-line discount, but they're also giving me the military veteran discount. And I made sure to verify with them my military service. So that's on file with them that I qualify for the military discount. And it's a discount that has been permanently enacted on my account. And for as long as I'm with them, my price will never go up.
That's awesome. Great.
That's great. That's a great example. We can't stress the importance enough of giving military discounts. I'm going to go ahead and get ready to close the show as we're hitting an hour. But before I do that, does anybody have any final remarks that they want to give before we close out?
Yeah, I just want to say I think it's going to help people understand a little bit more, and I appreciate you letting me come back and talk a little bit today.
I was glad to have all you guys back on the show again to talk about this. I want to close the show by saying that I hope that small business owners understand when and when not to give discounts, and to always understand that you have to make sure that you're serving your customers right. You want to make sure that you're giving good customer service. You want to make sure that your customers are happy, but you also have to let them know that there's a time when and when not to cut the prices down for them.
Yeah, because you don't want to be selling swimwear at a discount in the summer.
Right?
You sell that at a discount in the winter when no one's going to the pool.
Exactly. They might be buying...
Unless there's an indoor pool, and you're selling to a military people who are going to be wearing that while they're doing their pool exercises for their specialized training. But that's a special scenario.
Right. And I like how you're able to segment your specific target market if you were to sell swimwear to military people who are indoors. You were able to segment right there, right off the top of your head like that. Mm-hmm. Many business owners need to do that because overall, too many business owners make the mistake of thinking that everyone is their target audience, which is a huge, huge lie. Yet many business owners still make that mistake every day, and that's the first thing they teach you when you're in marketing class. Whether you take it in college or even in high school, wherever you read about it or learn about it. That's always the first rule of marketing, is to know that everyone is not your target audience.
Yeah, because people who don't own cars don't need car insurance.
Exactly. Perfect example.
That's why I don't need car insurance, because currently I don't have a car. So what's the point in paying for that when I'm not going to have a reason to need or use it?
You just be flushing money down the toilet.
Exactly. Whereas that makes me a perfect customer for companies such as the local taxi drivers or Uber and Lyft.
Exactly.
They would be people who could market to me, because occasionally I do need rides to places I go.
Exactly. Because you can only walk so far, right?
Yeah, especially when in my area currently the heat index values are triple digits and therefore poisonous to my health.
Same here, too. You all had some great information to share, and I hope that all the business owners out there take all this information to heart, and that business owners now have an understanding of what consumers think of when it comes to discounts, and how you can properly serve your customers when it comes to discounts and other customer service matters. Once again, I thank you guys for coming on the show. Y'all have a great day.
Thanks, Justin.
You too.
See you, Justin. See you guys. See you. Thank you, Christian, for having me back. You guys have a great week.
You too.
Yeah, it was a great podcast.